Hi everyone, it's Kathleen Deggelman. Welcome to our overview of the comp plan. One of the things that I know and that I've realized over the years is that if we are stumbling with the money, if we're stumbling with how to explain our company's comp plan, what I know is that we will self-sabotage and we often won't bring it up. I've had lots of conversations with people recently about the comp plan, and this will be a webinar that I do on a regular basis, and we'll also send out the recording too. But one of the things I know for sure, and years ago I had it play out in a very clear way. A friend of mine had sponsored 80 people in our business at the time, and she didn't have one person building. She had sponsored 80 people. And we sat down and looked at her back office, and the first thing I said was, well, share with me how you explain the comp plan. And she just looked at me and she said, well, the comp plan makes me really nervous. I don't feel like I understand it. And I said, so my guess is you probably don't even bring the business up. And she said, that's absolutely right. So this is something that I've learned over the years. I'm working on a short version, something that you'll be able to send people to, because one of the other things I've learned in this business is whenever you can use a tool, that's what you want to use. But I also know that it's not enough that you always just send people to say a 10-minute overview on me explaining the comp plan. If you don't understand it yourself, and our comp plan is really simple, if you don't understand it yourself, even if you use a tool, there's still going to be something that holds you back. So my intention tonight is to help you break through some of those limiting beliefs that we all have, that comp plans are hard to understand or comp plans are hard to explain. So let's get started. First, what I want to do, actually I'm going to maximize this screen. First, what I want to do is I want to explain three different types of income. Linear is what most of us earn. It's when we trade time for money, and that's the most common one. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great, but it's probably not the most effective way to earn income. And when I started on this journey about 10 years ago, by becoming a part of a couple wealth building communities, leveraged income and residual income was something that I was very interested in learning more about. So leveraged income is much more exciting. Think about McDonald's. It's how you generate income from a franchise or from individual stores. And Jeunesse provides us with the ability to create leveraged income. You don't always have to be involved. Linear income is very active. It's all about you. Leveraged income starts to become about other people. And residual income, one way to think about residual income is this is the lying on the beach money. I heard recently that Elvis actually makes more today than when he was alive because of royalties. So in our business, network marketing, you can kind of think of residual income as it's kind of like royalties. It's the money that you make while you're sleeping. And the great thing about Jeunesse is we've got the opportunity to create all three of those types of income. Next thing I want to talk about is just how you get started. The first thing that you do is you register, you enroll so that you are able to participate in the financial plan. That means you get sponsored into the business. Then you place a product order, and this activates your position. Now you're eligible to earn the different ways that Jeunesse pays us. What's great about our auto ship, our monthly auto ship, is you only have to get 60 points worth of product every month, and you can do that in North America for about $84, $86. But you don't want to think in terms of the minimum order. You want to think in terms of what best suits you, and you want to become your own best customer. And that's going to tell me a lot about how serious you are about this business and how serious you are in terms of your willingness to do the work. If you're serious, then you're going to step up and you're going to become a customer. One of the most important things you can do is enroll in auto ship, and this starts the foundation for that residual income that we just talked about. Those are the orders that come into the system month after month. So why is auto ship important? Well, first of all, it guarantees your product order, and like I said, you don't want to just use the minimum. Use all the products, use as many as you possibly can, and become your own best customer. And the reason for that is you want to lead by example. Your teams will absolutely do what you do. Auto ship is great too because it means you don't have to worry. There's something called flushing points in our business, and you don't ever want to have that happen. And the best way to make sure that that's not going to happen is by being on auto ship every month. By being on auto ship every month, it prevents your points from flushing. And if you're brand new, what that means is all of our products, all of our packages have points assigned to it, and all of those flow up to us, whether it's the left side or the right side. And if you aren't active, if you aren't on auto ship, it's possible that you could lose those points. And you want to think about those points as if it's money in the bank, because that's absolutely what it is. Your first goal when you're first getting started is to become an executive. Jeunesse is our comp plan is based on a binary compensation plan, and all that means, it's real simple, is that's you up at the top, you've got a left side to build, and you've got a right side to build. And one of the first goals that you want to accomplish when you get started in Jeunesse is to become what we call an executive. And all that means is you've brought in two people, one on the left, one on the right, and they've each placed a 100-point order. When you first get started, you have to place 100. Well, you don't have to do it right when you get started, but in order to be considered active, you have to place a 100-point order. Every month after that, it can be as little as 60 points, but the first order has to be 100 points, and the same thing for you to become an executive. You have to bring in two people who place a minimum 100-point order. And a lot of people become executives in the first 24 to 48 hours, which is great. We love that. We certainly want to teach our teams to become an executive at least in the first 7 days. And why is that? Because when you become an executive, what's so great about this level is now you're eligible to earn team commission. Typically in the industry, you have to sponsor 5 to 10 people in order to be eligible for the type of commission called team commission. With Jeunesse, one of the hoops that they've made much easier for us is you only have to sponsor 2 people, one on the left, one on the right. Just to recap, you activate your position with a 100-point order, you're qualified, and at the executive level, when you've got one left, one right, and they've each placed a 100-point order. The basic sign-up package for $199 qualifies you with the 100 points that's assigned to that package, and the Supreme Jumbo Ambassador packages to get started have even more. To get started quickly, this is one thing I really want to encourage you to think about and to teach your teams is, in the very beginning, teach your teams, and for you yourself, you want to share the business with at least 20 people in the first 7 days. You want to get people in that funnel. Take enough action in the first week to find those 2 people so that you can become an executive at least in the first 7 days. And one of the things I've learned in this business is you want to focus on the activities, not the results. And with our team, the J Factor team, we're going to supersize that. You want to become an executive by sponsoring one on the left, one on the right. And then you want to get the J Factor, which means you've also brought in 2 preferred customers. But what's great about becoming an executive, it's simple. You bring in 2 people, and now you're eligible for team commission. So now let's go through the specifics of the comp plan. Jeunesse pays us 6 different ways. Most of us are used to getting paid 1 or 2 ways. Years ago when I worked for IBM, I got paid a salary and a commission, so that was 2 ways. 10 years ago when I was a real estate agent in San Francisco, that was 100% commission, so that was 1 way. In my 7 years of building network marketing businesses, I have learned that the multiple ways that they pay us is much, much better. And we'll go through each one of these. The first one is retail. Second one is customer acquisition bonuses. Third is team commission. Fourth is leadership matching bonus. Fifth is the customer acquisition incentives for bringing in customers. And number 6 is the leadership bonus pool. So we'll go through each one of those. The first one is really simple. When you sign up as a wholesale member or as a wholesale distributor, you now have access to the wholesale pricing. You've paid your $29.95. That now gives you access to the wholesale pricing. You can buy product at wholesale and turn around and sell it at retail. So you make that retail markup. This is a great way to make some extra money quickly. You can do that person to person. The second way that you can earn retail is when you pay your $29.95, you get a very first-class e-commerce website. It's called our back office. And on the landing page, before you actually log in, is a shopping cart. So as you drive traffic or you send your friends to your e-commerce website with Jeunesse, they can go onto the product page and click purchase. That's a retail purchase for you. So that puts money in your pocket too. And the third way that you can earn some extra money is by sponsoring preferred customers. And our preferred customer program is the best that I've ever seen in the industry. It's now available in Canada, the United States, Australia, New Zealand, and just recently it's available in Europe. And how our preferred customer works is when you personally sponsor 2 preferred customers, for the next month you're going to earn $50 US. You get 2 full-size bottles of serum, and you don't have to pay for your auto ship. That's about $400 worth of cash savings in your auto ship and the retail value of the product. That's the best preferred customer program that I've seen. A couple other great things about our preferred customer program is our preferred customers go on the tree. And what's great about that is if they decide down the road that they actually want to build a business, that they want to earn some money, they're already in position, and everything that's happened underneath them will now flow up to them. They don't have to start all over at the bottom. Our preferred customers can actually earn free serum too. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. There's a video on the website to explain preferred customers, and they've actually just created a new document to explain this program, and it's available on the home page when you first log in. The second way that we earn money is through customer acquisition bonuses. When you joined Jeunesse, or if you're about to join Jeunesse, when you go through the application process, it's going to bring up a series of what we call sign-up packages, and they range from $200 or $199 for the basic all the way up to $1,100 for the ambassador. Each one of those packages have a customer acquisition bonus assigned to it. The basic is $25, the ambassador is $250. You want to think about developing a customer base. You want to think about bringing, regularly sponsoring people, because these customer acquisition bonuses are significant money in your pocket. I mean, I've met a few people recently who are feeling a little strapped for cash, and so they placed the minimum order, the $199, the basic package. I, as their sponsor, earned $25 on that, and then I've helped them to go out and sponsor a couple of people on ambassador packages, so they've earned $250 times 2. That's $500. Now they've got some money in their pocket. They can get to work. They can buy some more product to share with people. So this is a very significant way to earn income. This is probably 2 to 4 times the industry average, this $25 to $250. And one thing I want you to think about in terms of a customer base is, over time, if you have at least 20 people on auto ship and your team does the same thing, this is a very powerful part of the residual income. And make sure when you're bringing somebody in to choose which package is right for them, make sure you help them choose, which one is the best package for them in terms of their willingness to work, their seriousness in the business, and also factoring in their budget too. The third way that we make income with Jeunesse is called team commissions. This is when it really starts to get exciting. You start to earn income from creating a team. Now, again, you've got a left team and a right team. That's you at the top. All of the products and the packages have points assigned to them, and they flow up to you. Everything that happens underneath you flows up to you. What the computer's going to look for in terms of team commission is when you've got 300 points on one side and 600 points on the other, that's going to create what we call a cycle, which is equivalent to a team commission of $35. And it can flip. It doesn't have to be one or the other. The computer's just always looking for whenever 300 points is on one side, 600 points is on the other, you get a team commission of $35. And one of the things I love about Jeunesse is our back office, our commission report is in real time. So last night we had a happy hour on Vancouver Island. We know that a couple of people are going to be signing up today. As soon as they sign up, the person who sponsored them, Cheryl, is going to be able to go into her back office and see right away the income she earned from the package that they signed up for. What's great about that is we want people to be as quickly rewarded for the right activities as possible, and real time on the commission report does absolutely that. So you just have to stay active, meaning you've purchased your first order at 100 points, and every month after that you've got at least 60 points coming through your business. You have to be an executive, one left and one right. That qualifies you for team commissions. What else is great about team commission is this caps at over $26,000 per week. That's 2.5 times the industry average. When I first started analyzing this comp plan, this was one of the things that caught my attention. I was used to a cap of $10,000 a week. I know that with this comp plan, I would have made at least a couple million more dollars than the $4+ million that I did the previous 6 years. So this is a very, very good thing. Remember when I said that you're eligible for team commission by only sponsoring 2 people, one left, one right? The other thing that is very unusual is that you could, if you got lucky, or if you just happened to know the right 2 people, you could sponsor 2 people and maximize team commission, meaning you would be earning that $26,000 every week. That's over $105,000 every month by sponsoring 2 people. Now that's not going to happen very often. It's not probable to happen, but the fact that it is possible is very unusual. Most companies write into their compensation plan so that that couldn't happen. In Jeunesse, it's possible, and it has happened. It does happen. Okay, let me just see here. Okay, so the 4th way that we make money is leadership matching bonus. This is probably the one that is the most complicated for people. It's the one that people stumble on the most, but it's actually pretty simple too. This is just a picture of the ranks. As we move up in rank, we start out as an associate and go all the way up to double diamond, which isn't listed there. But for every rank starting with jade, you get to add another level of leadership matching bonus. And how this works is when you personally sponsor people, they're considered your level 1. And when they earn team commission at level 1, you get 20%. So let's just put that into a specific example. Let's say that Tim is in my business, and last month he made $10,000 in team commission. I personally sponsored Tim. He's my level 1. So I'm going to get 20% of $10,000. That's $2,000 just from leadership matching bonus. And you make that on every person that you personally sponsor. And it just continues. Level 2, you make 15%. Level 3, you make 10%. Level 4, 5, 6, and 7, you make 5%. So let me just walk you through this example of how this works. And when you're talking with somebody about the comp plan, all you really need to explain in terms of leadership matching bonus is that this is a way that the company pays you to help other people get paid. As your personally sponsored team and their personally sponsored team and their personally sponsored team make team commission, with leadership matching bonus, you get a cut of that. And what's amazing about Jeunesse, and this was another thing that really caught my attention when I was doing my due diligence on the comp plan almost a year ago, is that the industry average for this type of bonus is 2 to 10%. Jeunesse is 65 to 75%. When I got started in the industry about 7 years ago, oh, actually a little over 7 years ago. I remember when I first got started, at that time I was also working in a binary type compensation plan. And I met some people who had been in the industry for quite a while. And when they heard that I was working with a binary, they kind of put it down. And I remember thinking at the time, wow, I think this is amazing. Well, as the years went on, I had a better understanding of why in a typical binary compensation plan, which Jeunesse is not, because our founder, Wendy Lewis, is a whiz. She actually has a master's in statistics, and has been writing comp plans for over 20 years. So she knows how to make this work for both the distributors and the company. But as the years went on, I did start to understand more why people sometimes didn't like the binary, because what can happen in a binary is you can have one side of your business doing really well, let's say the left side, but your right side isn't doing anything at all. Well, all that volume is still going up to the company, and the company's making money on that left side that's doing really well. But the way most comp plans are written, if you don't have both sides working, you don't make very much money. Well, leadership matching bonus is so generous that even if you've only got one side really taking off with this bonus, because it pays out at 65 to 75% versus 2 to 10%, the industry average, you can actually do extremely well. There was a diamond in the business a while back. You know, she built a diamond. That's the second highest rank in Jeunesse. One side of her binary, the right side, fell apart. Well, while she was rebuilding that side, because her left side was doing so well, she was still making over $18,000 a week because of leadership matching bonus. That doesn't usually happen in a traditional binary. So let me just walk you through these numbers. And you know, if you're hearing this for the first or second, maybe even the third time, and it still isn't quite clear, trust me, it takes hearing this particular way of getting paid a few times before it starts to make sense. And the best way to understand it is to start building it, and you'll see it happening in your back office, in your commission report. So let's just say that you've got 8 personally sponsored people, level 1, the people that you've personally sponsored, and those 8 people each earned 5 team commissions of $35 in 1 month. So that means that those 8 people earned $175. A total team commission was paid on the level 1 of $1,400. You, as the sponsor of those 8 people, are going to make 20%. So that's $280. So now let's take it to the next level. Your first level personally sponsored people, that's your second level. Let's say you've got 36 people who earned 5 team commissions last month. That means they each earned the same $175, but you've got a lot more people on the second level. So that $6,300 that was paid out on level 2, you get 15%. So that's $945 in leadership matching bonus. So if you add all this up in that month, if this was your business, you would have made over $5,000 in leadership matching bonus. This is a very significant way that we earn money with Jeunesse, and it's very unusual in the industry that it is this generous. Jeunesse pays out over 60% of the revenue back to the distributors. The industry average is 50%. Jeunesse is extremely generous with their comp plan. So number 5, this is the customer acquisition incentive. Remember when I said that leadership matching bonus pays out at 65 to 75%? Well, how do you make that extra 10%? How you make that extra 10% is by having some customers in your business. And when you have 10 customers, and they can be preferred customers or they can be wholesale members that are really just customers. How many people over time come into your business and they just want to get the best possible pricing, so they become a wholesale member to get the wholesale pricing, but they don't sponsor anybody and they don't earn any money. Those count towards your 10 preferred or 10 customers too. When you've got 10 customers, and they can be made up again of preferred customers or wholesale members, when you've got 10, that 20% that you get on leadership matching bonus bumps up another 10% to 30%. That's a 50% increase on your level 1. So everybody that you personally enroll, you want to set a goal to have 10 customers in your back office so that you don't make 20% on level 1, you make 30%. So just imagine as my business gets bigger and bigger, let's say I had 10,000 cycles, that's $35,000. If my sponsors doesn't have 10 customers, he's going to make 20% of $35,000 instead of 30%. To get that extra 10%, all he has to do is have 10 customers in your back office. And that isn't hard to do, especially as time goes on. So you definitely want to set a goal to get those 10 customers so that you increase and get not the 65% leadership matching bonus, but the 75% over time. The sixth way that we get paid is the leadership bonus pool. This is 3% of the global revenue is set aside, and it's divided amongst the top 2 ranks in the company. The top 2 ranks in the company are the diamonds and the double diamonds. Right now we have 3 double diamonds, and we've got about 15 diamonds. They get to share on a quarterly basis the 3% of the global revenue. So this is reserved for the top income earners, and what's so great about this is you're getting paid on the whole company, the 87 countries that we're in right now. And just imagine how significant that would be as we become a $1 billion plus company. Who wouldn't want to have a piece of a $1 billion company? I know that how this has played out in previous quarters, depending on how many shares you have in the bonus pool, it can be anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 as a bonus for the diamonds and the double diamonds. So that's something to aspire to too. How we get paid is we get paid by a debit card or a check, and we have also got e-wallet set up. This absolutely is a global opportunity. When I first looked at this, my 1-year anniversary will be, it's actually a little bit less than a month, September 5th. When I first looked at this, one of the things that I was really excited about, in addition to the compensation plan, because I hope you can see how significant and unusual and wonderful it is. Lots of different ways to make money, and a lot of the typical hoops that are worked into a comp plan aren't in Jeunesse. But one of the things I was really excited about is not only did I have a ground floor opportunity in the United States and Canada, but I could market to 84, now 87 countries all over the world. And with the internet and social media, it has never been easier to build a truly international and global business. So I hope this helps explain a little bit more to you about the 6 different ways that we get paid. I will do this again next week. And I will also include just a short, probably 5-minute video that we can start to use as a tool that you can share with people, kind of like how we do the sizzle call and the 3-way call. We'll add another tool to the toolbox, which will be just a quick 5-minute overview on what you need to say to somebody that's really just getting started. And then this webinar will be for more of the in-depth learning. So we have amazing products. We've got a great comp plan. We've got wonderful founders and executive team to work with. I was asked several times at an event last night, why Jeunesse? Why Jeunesse? Why did I choose Jeunesse? And it's not one answer. I mean, it's because of the quality of the products. It's the leading edge scientific, medically based technology that we're providing in our products. I really think that our products are absolutely amazing. How unusual the comp plan is, it is very generous. They've taken away a lot of the hoops. The founders and the executive team are wonderful to work with. But the other factor that I shared with this gal last night, the 4th thing is where we are in terms of the timing. I recently saw a chart that explains the different business cycles for a network marketing company, and the momentum part of the chart is where you want to get to. Well, with Jeunesse, we're not even on the blackboard yet. We're still at the very, very, very beginning. So when I talked to my upline Kelly Banger just earlier today, we're both just so excited because of what we see. I absolutely believe that we and whoever wants to join us and do the work with us, we'll be standing on stages in 10 years, not even believing what this journey, how this journey has played out. I absolutely believe that Jeunesse is going to be one of the biggest, most successful companies in this industry. I'm thrilled that I said yes. One of the things I shared last night at the gathering was, you never really know for sure when you make a decision to change to another company or even to change careers. You never really know for sure until you're in it. I mean, I was very confident and very excited when I joined Jeunesse almost a year ago, but I am absolutely thrilled with the decision. I couldn't be happier. I see a very long-term, very, very successful career with Jeunesse, and I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll come back and say good night, goodbye, and we'll make this recording available. I hope you learned something tonight. We'll do this again next week, and I hope you all have a great night. Good night, everybody. Talk to you soon.